good. All right, so tonight I'm going to be testing Pencil.dev. First, let me share my link, my YouTube link with John. He will be the co-pilot in this guy. He doesn't like to hop on screen, but I will pull him in to code with me and plug it out. Still kind of getting to figuring out my videos. Alright, here's the link. John, he will be the co-pilot in this guy. He doesn't like to hop on screen. Uh-oh, turn it down. Alright, let's mute this bad boy. Alright, so, let me show that to my guy. Where's my chat? Alright, where is it at? Oh, here we go. Alright, we're live. Let me see. Close all these things. So my goal tonight is just to test. I've been trying to pull. I've been building this app for the city, just in general, like trying to create an application to like sell. And so I've been doing a lot of product design and stuff like that. But then also what I'm trying to do is I'm using more AI tools. So I had a meeting with a guy, Dion Ridley. I'm sure it's okay. No one's gonna watch this anyway. But engineering manager. Well, he's engineering manager over at Org, and so he was telling about these different AI tools that that are really kind of cool. And one is kind of this one called Pencil.dev, which is a tool that's essentially kind of like Canva or it allows you to, let me see if we got, okay, yeah. It allows you to be able to design with just AI, right? To design your front end with just AI. And so it's pretty exciting. So, and then I'll show you what we're trying to build. So what I'm trying to scale or to adjust, let me make sure my chat is open. Let me add time. I want me to share a session, and maybe my boy John will kind of hop in and code with me. We'll see. He's really great dev, by the way. One of the best devs I ever worked with. Doesn't quite believe it, but he is the guy. So let's kind of go over to the documentation for Pencil. Let's share this guy, restart the screen. I don't know why that always happens. And so I pulled it into my VS Code extension, so I downloaded it, and I got it over here in VS Code. Let me close the rest of these guys. Setting up Pencil.dev. We don't need to look at this. Cloud Code. We're closing these guys out. Another tool I use, V0. V0.app is a great kind of tool for AI. The thing about V0 is it allows Vercel for you to do deployment through Vercel and for you to kind of code it up, but it's just like this thing of like it has this interface that's through the app, and I'm just not a big fan. And so now with Cloud Code, let me open up my Cloud Code. Let me close this out with these interviewing orgs. Where's my? Oh, here. Oh, I have it open. Oh, that is V0. Sorry, that is my VS Code. All right, that's my VS Code. And here I'll share the app. So here's this is V0, sorry. Here's my VS Code. This is my VS terminal. So this is the extension of Pencil in here. And then also here's Cloud Code, right? So Cloud Code has a cool interface too. But here's my app running. Let me share my screen, the other screen, so we can see what the actual application looks like. Running live. Logos 3000. And here it is. So here's the app. And so implemented is this parser that I'm doing that it translates standards. And so I have the backend. So I did the backend. So now I just kind of need a user interface to do that. And the front end, I don't want to build it out. Like I want to kind of see how fast I can do it with some of these tools. So here's like kind of like portions. It's kind of a cool tool. And based off the cities here scaling. Oh, what's happening? Speed up, big dog. So like these are like the most dangerous cities in LA, right? So you can kind of see like the collisions. Let's see these collisions over the past, what is this, 36 months. And so here's all the collisions that occurred over the past 36 months. And it's like pretty much just a tool for cities to kind of like prioritize where to implement improvements, right? So here's a street view of this actual city when you kind of come to it. So like this is like theoretically one of the most dangerous cities, not dangerous intersections, and you see the intersection. It kind of makes sense. Like it's this, like it looks like it's like pretty fast traffic, and people are like, there's no signal here, and you're like just having to turn. Since why these are like high accidents, but nonetheless, that's not what we're building. Let's get back to Pencil so that we can see how to work it. All right, so I don't have any clue what I'm doing, right? So here's Claude Code. Why is that open? Is it interfacing with Claude Code? Prefer to turn switch back to settings. All right, so wait. Let's just ask Claude on my screen. And I'm just gonna ask Claude to like help me out. All right, I don't like reading. Can you see the Claude Code? Oh, you can't see that even that screen. Let me fix that. Oh, you can. All right, let's see. That's interesting. How do I implement? So how do I implement Pencil.dev? Pencil.dev, and let's put that here. And then let's just kind of go to the documentation as well, because I don't really like, where's the Pencil.dev downloads, installation, docs.pencil.dev. All right, here we go. So here's the documentation. Let's go over to this guy. And let's see, we installed VS Code. macOS grabbed the latest that DMG first launched. macOS verified clip. Now we got it on here. Authentication, design as code. Pencil interface. The canvas gives you an unlimited workspace to freely explore and develop your designs. It builds on principles you already know from professional design tools. Okay, frames are containers for your designs. Let's think. To move around, hold spacebar and drag. Hold spacebar and drag. Let's see what this does. Oh, okay. So let's move. Is that right? No, but don't do that. It's just this guy. All right, so it's good. Frames. All right, here's steps of frame. From scratch or edit it existing. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back. I don't know what the hell that is. Over that. So let's see what the Claude said. It says Pencil.dev is a design tool with MCP server with the MCP server integration for Claude Code. What is MCP? That's something I want to kind of know. It's always P N A I. Let's go to the screen. My screen. Let's restart screen. I hate how MCP Model Context Protocol is an open source standard introduced by Anthropic. Introduced by Anthropic that allows AI models to seamlessly connect with external data, software tools, and development environments. And that's a universal USB-C for AI. So it's just pretty much like allows you to do plugins, right? Eliminates the need for custom bespoke integration for code for every new AI service, shifting the burden from developers to service providers. Architecture utilizes a client-server model. The MCP client, e.g. Cloud Desktop, connects to an MCP server, which translates the external systems capabilities. All right, so that's enough of that. All right, so it's on the left side. Here's the layers panel. Let's come back over here. I'll read that out to you. So it says the layers panel lays on the left side, which is this guy right here, which I'm not able to kind of share my screen. Properties is so bad. Restart capture. All right, so here's the layer. Oh, and you can see my Claude Code this time. So here's the layers panel. And now it says the layers properties panel appears on the right side. Here's the properties panel. So this is properties. What is this? I'm gonna close this Claude code. Is this, what is this? Oh, let's close this. All right. All right, Claude. Let's close this guy too. Let's close this guy. It's a lot of Claude code. All right, so here you go. All right, so what is this? All right, so we have the interface, we have the layers, and then on the right side we have the properties panel, AI chat, Pencil AI chat's interface for Vibe design. You can design something from scratch to edit existing designs on the canvas. All right, so let's see. All right, so I think we're just gonna work through it through the AI interface. It says Pencil.dev is a design tool. Okay, you already have the Pencil MCP server configured in a session. To add it to a project, start any design session by asking Cloud to check the editor state, then describe what you want. Okay, so let's see. So can you check the, all right, and so let's see the page that we want to kind of have done and where it's at. So, and I'm just really just spitballing this. This is like not how you should code at all. Like for me, I like to at least come up with somewhat of a like strategy, but we'll come up with it as we go. And I'm not gonna waste your time any more than I already am. All right, so let's look at the application. And so it's the data manager. The data manager? Oh, it's operations. It is operations. Shoot. All right, so I've had operations where you pull it in and all of that. I think it's the data manager, right? Let me check my, I think it is the data manager. Okay, so in the data manager, all right, so in the data manager, all right, so in the data manager, I am looking to incorporate, all right, here, let me come to my screen so you can follow along. And let's see how it does. Like, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm just gonna live stream it and play around with it, but then also maybe build out a tutorial for it later as I get better. Like not a tutorial, but do like a regular video that I edit. So in the data manager, I'm looking to incorporate a page that allows for, that sits underneath that sits in the data manager. The data manager component beneath the data manager component. I will provide requirements, but first I want to verify I'm in the right place, right? I am in the right, the design build. You know, and what I'm not understanding is why am I coming through this Figma design to implement what I want my like application to look like, as opposed to just having GPT spin it up. But I think maybe it can build you a few things. I think there's like 3 designs that you can. Let me check the current page at the global pattern up here. No file found. Thoughts or pencil get editor state. So wait. Let me check the current editor state and explore the project structure. Glob pattern.pen. So thought for 1 second. Out currently. I thought you're in the right place. The pencil MCP is active and ready. A few things to note about your current state. Current active file pencil.pen. Oh, so I said I want to create a new pen. Wow. So let's see. I want to create a new .pn file for this implementation. And then I'm going to just give requirements to. Oh. And we'll call it, what are we going to call it? A good name for the .pen is let me see. So and that's one of the things that I don't like about. Well, it takes forever sometimes, this like Claude code, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm trying to do on strategies. I didn't really create a strategy before coming on. I just like it forces me to code on tools that I don't know about when I come live. So that's why I did this. But I'm thinking that, so for me, with the application that we're having, I have this page, and let's kind of look at the strategy too while this is kind of working on its way. So I have the page. Let's refresh this. Start, okay. And in the data manager, there's nothing here, right? And so what I want to have it build is I want to be able to almost like, say, for instance, in this operations panel, let's see this. So in this operations panel, I can click the button. So I want to have it similar to that. And let me pull up my requirements. No one will see. And so Confluence. So and so I'm trying to figure out what a good design is. So for this, you have connections and all these things that work. So I'm gonna give it the wow. I'm gonna build the whole interface. I'm gonna build like the components that don't really matter. And let me. Why is this always doing this? Oh, I'll leave it there. That's fine. I'm gonna build the components that don't really matter. And so there's gonna be a few things that kind of go into this app or this page that, and I need to think about where it goes or what the interface should look like, right? And so, what should I want to do that pen? Okay, man, this goes slow. I wish I couldn't go live. There's gonna be like a few things that I have as far as like a connections page, creating edit connections, testing connection route, and so those modules. So I'm gonna have different modules, right? And so this is gonna be called I'm gonna call it the transformer module, right? And so I just want a button. So I'm gonna want a page that looks like this transformer module. So on the data manager, I want a button that says transformer module, right? And what is happening here? Why is that? Oh, that's me hitting it. All right, so let's just open up another window. Okay, so let's go back to my code and let's start there. Live session. I'm gonna have two Claude codes going. All right, so I'm gonna say that I have the safety insights. Oh, safety insights. It's coming soon, so that's not right. All right, so I'm not gonna even have that. I'm just gonna have it called in the data manager. And data manager. In the data manager, let me go to my code. Am I in the code? Oh yeah, I need to refresh this. That's in properties, refresh screen. Data manager. I would like a module that is the transformer module. Is the transformer module, right? This is where the standards will be defined. Will the standardization? Oh, here we go. Let's see what it gives me. All right, let's see that pin. All right, so we're done. I'm bouncing all over the place. Wait, let's refresh this. Restart this capture. All right, let's see what we got. So we got a blank canvas. All right, new file create. Pencil knew that pin and ready to go. Now share the requirements for the page that sits beneath the data manager component. Data, it's just display. Okay, let's see. So let's just give it a high level description. So this is this functionality, and I'm gonna probably redo this, but this is just for you. This functionality, this will show. This will show where users can validate. This will be, oh, this component will allow, okay, let's do this. This component, time to walk, to edit and or validate rules, rate lines. I would like rate lines, right? Interface that is in alignment with the existing design. Let me just pull, and I'll pull a record from the database just to see, because I'm thinking like, let me pull my other project open too to see what it looks like. But so let's see the PyCharm and you know I'm gonna do. Oh, this is the best thing ever, right? I'm gonna go to right screen, start this capture, and I've been talking to GPT over here, so it's just like, can you provide a design spec for what the user interface for this editor, with this feature front end feature look like for the Figma designer. I just want you to tell me high level the functionality that is needed, the application to support high level the functionality so that we can design, so that a good design can be created. This is for an AI. All right, so now we're just killing our tokens, right? We're just talking to Claude on PyCharm, and we're talking to Claude on VS Code. So let's see what it gives us. This should be exciting. You know what's good? It's like when you're just live and it's just like, oh, this is gonna be boring. Let me make sure there's nothing behind me dirty. Jazz gonna get mad if I, oh no. Don't remember my light. I'm gonna sit down. I'm a little tired. I had a long workout today. You know, I've been getting up. It's just the hardest thing, you know. Oh, I'm so exhausted. I just coded today. Well, had an interview, did some leak code, trying to get a regular back in the full time in the mainstream software. You know, I do this part time. Well, I do this full time, but it's like when you're trying to run your own software org, it is. Wait, what's happening? Oh, it's just so hard, man. It is just the hardest thing. It's like you don't know when your next meal is gonna come. And not that I don't know, it's just you don't know when your next check is gonna come, right? And so it's just like you could be like, oh wait, here it is. I get paid like 3 weeks in a row, and then the next you're like, okay, it could be another 4 months. My first year in this, I didn't startups because I was doing mentoring for Techstars, and I was getting paid. I got paid to do an application. We didn't get to finish it. Well, we finished the app, but we didn't get to finish getting paid for the app. The founder ran out of money, and it's the gotta grind, man. It is just an absolute grind when you're doing startups, you know. And so, so I'm trying to do a lot of things, just coding, building software, going to lunches with people. So that was just a little personal stuff. I think I got a little sidetracked, but it's okay. There's no one here, right? I don't think so. Let's see. So, come on, what's happening here? I'm just gonna restart my Claude session. It's taking too long. We need to start getting some results. Oh, there it goes. All right. So, let's copy this. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Claude, that shouldn't take too long. That shouldn't. New Claude session. What? No, close this. Do you want to? No, cancel. All right, okay, let's keep it open. Damn. I messed it up. I'm gonna close it. Oh no, here it is. Perfect. Oh, perfect. There it goes. Ah, that was great. Dashboard. All right, so I should. What else? All right, so package list dashboard filter per table of all the terra packages. All right, so let's just copy that. I don't care about this out of scope. Let's see if I agree with this. All right, let's see what it says. A package list dashboard. A filterable table of all Terra packages. Each row shows package name, parse status, validated state, filter controls by parse status, package detail, review, view. This is the primary work service split into 2 panels. And you know, I don't know, at the bottom, so it says left panel. Let's see. Let's iterate off of it. Let's just give it to it. Let's see. This is not I'm not going to use any of it, but let's see what it does. Here are the requirements for the app, for the component. Oh, wait, here, let me change my screen. Sorry about that. I always do that. Let's talk a little. Now we're going to Pencil. And let's make sure we restart capture to make sure that we're going live. All right. So here are the requirements for the component. And let's see what it does. I'm just gonna copy and paste that bad boy in there. Less about like capturing the proper thing. I'll redo this thing. I'm not gonna push any of this, but I just want to kind of see what it does, like how good it works. Is this right? I'm at Pencil.dev. All right, Pencil. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, same Pencil. Out table, Pencil gets guidelines. All right, so it's cooking. And let's see what kind of interface it does. That should be cool, right? I'm always kind of like I'm not gonna say I'm all flat design front end. I'm not. I am. I'm just not really great at it. It's not something I take passion in, right? Like I'll get if you have something there, I'll make sure that it stays in alignment. And I build in alignment with what you got. Like I'm pretty good at like staying in standard, but I'm not gonna like generate something new and have it be like really amazing. Like you don't want me as your only front end designer on your team, right? Like, but back end and architect perhaps, but yeah, you much rather have my boy John. John's a really great front end guy. That's his like specialty. He takes really passion in it. Hopefully one day he'll hop on, but until then, we'll see. All right, so come on. All right, so it's still working. And I think for me, I want to kind of understand and capture requirements around it as well. All right, so it's April 15th. No, it says date, the 7th. Oh, well, I pay rent. So pencil get variables, web app system prompt. All right, what is it? What is happening? Oh, and is it? I'm not understanding how this is working. Like, I want to understand how Pencil.face this Anthropic Claude Code interface to build how does it know how to do this? I think that's the whole thing about this GP thing that kind of is like, there's so much going on that's just like, how do you? I don't know how to follow it all, like how it all works behind the scenes, right? Like I'm taking a course on LangChain, and one of the things I'm learning about at LangChain, it it essentially allows you. So for LLMs, I mean for like this regular LangChain, like it simply just allows you to kind of like make calls to different LLMs and do certain things, right? So, but then they have these things that you allow to do functions, right? So functions in pretty much you and in LangChain, you create the like a description of what the function does, like the signature and all of that, and so then as you're providing the LLM there's instructions, like or like you're saying, hey, calculate a discount for me, and then you give it tools, right? They're called tools, and you say, okay, here you can call this function, get price, and then this function apply discount, right? And so then like it's able to think and say, okay, wait, so we don't know the price, so let's get the price. And so the way we get the price is we call get price, and then like it knows you tell it what to do, and it can execute those functions for you. Like so, it'll call get price with the proper input that you want, and then after that, you say, so it's this thing that I'm not necessarily sure that it just adds complaint. So it's a great developer, but then I just think that it's still a little bit ways off, right? And this notion that it's gonna like you're gonna lose an entire workforce, I don't think so. I think that for me, like if I'm improving a component or finding bugs, it probably 10x's me. Like it'll take a lot of the time down, right? But as far as just like managing your application, like I couldn't trust a tool to be able to properly manage everything and for stuff not to get messed up because it's just too like it hallucinates and it's all this stuff and like there's times where you call different LLMs and stuff and it'll give you an answer that's obviously wrong. Like it's not good. They're not good at math at all, right? Like they're awful at math. And so it's like if you're trying to apply a distance, which is odd, right? How is it bad at math? But that's neither here nor there. What's going on with this prompt? It's still taking around. It still says whirring. Is that saying that there? Yeah. But I don't know. I think that all these tools are powerful, but it's just like then also the data. I mean, the amount of energy, right? Like these things are consuming a lot of water and power. So it's just like, and it's like now every tool you see is just LLM, GPT, this and that, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think that something's gonna have to happen, right? So we'll see. Why is this taking so long? Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go. All right, so we got. Oh, let me restart my capture. All right, so it's building out some stuff. It says, okay, package list, 194 parts. Ooh, I'm not gonna say I like this. I'm not gonna say I hate it. And the crazy thing is that I think that it can just get integrated right into your application as far as the design. I'm not sure. Like someone says you can export JSON or something. I don't know what that means. I don't know how would even JSON interface with this. There's more to know. Someone explain it. Let's see. So for me, when I'm thinking about this, is this the design I want? What's funny is like as you go over the design, it helps you think about the requirements. But as I think about the design, I would want to have it so there's like 140 separate rules, right? And so I think I'm gonna have to discuss that with the GPT. So build field records view screen. So we have a field records view screen. Oh, it's gonna show me these things. Here, let me close this Claude. All right. I'll close these windows too. We just got too much going on here. Let me start this capture. So you can kind of see what's going on here. You can see it kind of working. And it's kind of cool. Let's close these routes. Sorry. Page up to the things. Other to the sidebar. Alright, so and let me open it up too. Let me open up my existing app. Close this out. So here's like, and I guess I'll put it in line with the bike rack. Or one thing that's kind of like, I'm trying to find a page dashboard. All right, so here's what's building, and then here's the kind of the existing app. Properties. I don't know why my capture stops. Why my capture always stops, and I have to restart it. But here's what the kind of the app looks like in regards to certain functionalities. Are just the pages, right? So let's kind of go back to this, and it's close in regards to. It looks like it fits in there a little bit, like it fits aligned with the design. So I'm not gonna say it's a bad design, but it's not too bad. Let's see what it's saying. Capture. All right, so one package list, tab bar with package list 194 and failed records 18. And secondary 4 stats summary banner parse failure. Okay. So I think that's it, right? So package name. And here, let me just give it a record example. Oh, wow, look at this. Wow, how does it... What happened here? All right, okay, so... Oh, wow. Oh, and look at... It's not even done. Oh, I see. So it's giving... It designs all these things for you, which is very interesting. So here's what failed records look like. Rerun, skip. Mission, district, meter, zone, package list. What is that? Package list, tariff packages. All right, here. So I'm trying to think. So what is that? Is that? Damn, that thing. 50% of my context is used up. That pretty much means that it's gonna just chew up my AI, your credits. Like I won't be able to code for the rest of the day with this, which I'm okay with. So is this? I'm okay with this design. So let's see. So I have total tool packages and all that. V0dev. Oh, here it is right here. And here's like the existing kind of, like here's the existing. So it's like, and this is all through. Oh, this is not through Cloud. And it says I want to potentially discuss. I want to go over a design for, and let's just see what it does. Here, let me do this. Sorry, I sort of wrote that screen. Properties, restart screen. All right, this is my last screen. Yeah, that's right. I want to go over design for the to the transformer module. Module that allows the editing of policies. It will belong to the data manager. This is let me make sure the connections. I want to make sure that my overall CI. Yeah, that's it. Belong to the data manager. It where policies can be reviewed, edited, and verified. You know, just so much. It's pretty cool. You know, they call this vibe coding. I'm not sure. Like, I don't really trust. Well, I think it's good that I'm able to have a component, right, and then have AI just like enhance it for me. That's cool. But then also it's just like you're losing. You're not having to kind of have like a design team to kind of go over it. Like, you can almost like build out this quick little mock-up of what you expect it to look at, and then from there, requirements. Transfer module designs. Understand the data manager action is currently a placeholder data manager. You want to add a transfer module where users can review, edit, and verify policies based on your existing data models you currently have. No. These are all policies like data sets. Key question is, what does transfer mean in this context? Data transformation. Okay, here, let me just, and this is where it's like sometimes, even when you're able to provide a like RAG or what are they called? Vertex DBs, Vertex DBs, DB for RAG. Vertex AI RAG engine Vertex AI RAG engine offers a fully manual scale retrieval augmental. Vertex AI. All right, so vector DB is like a vector DP. What does transform mean in this context? I've spent 1 million hours on all these things. Classifier stage, set manager. Let's find requirements. Let's see if I can do the whole thing. All right, so here's essentially the workflow of the data manager. I'm going to provide the whole data manager. All right, manager. Here is the workflow of the data manager. All right. So, be on this side. I'll put on this side too. See what it says. Okay, right here. I'm just gonna give the whole context. You know what? I actually like planning with V0. It's really good. It's like I actually love it. I'm so tired right now. What time is it? 8:50. Wow, it's only 8:50. All right, so currently, so let me just add this. Currently, where's my edit? So currently, this guy. Let me go into my database. Oh, I'll go to my Python. So my models, DB models. And let's go here. Currently, there is alright, so okay, so so it's main classifier, whatever. Alright, so models, classifier, policy. Alright, so so there's a classifier. What would you say the purpose? And let me talk to GPT about this too, because what would you say the purpose of policy classifier? You know, it's just it's such a long process too, right? Like this is I could have been coding this whole time, but it's all right. It's all right. Policy classifier, classifier version. Or not. And so, let me go to my Scribedale, and I'll show you my properties. What? Properties. And you know, one of the things is, as I've been working is there's been this thing where it creates markdown for you too. So it's like it almost like as you're interfacing with GPT, and one of the things I always battle with John is like I create documents and they just go dead, right? And so now what it does is it builds these markdown files. And it kind of pretty much just keeps you in a role. So let's see. So here's the modules, docs, modules, tier pipeline, requirements, data manager scope. All right. So here, let me just kind of give you the scope. All right. So it says, let's see what it says. System auto creates draft. Generate transform. Okay. So here, let's. I'm not liking this. Data matter scope. So the transformer. So let's go into the transformer. Here we go. The Terra pipeline AMD. Here there. So currently, the pipeline. And I need to kind of like. Let's have define the generate. And I don't want to always have to rewrite this, right? So I'm going to talk to GB. Let's talk about how can we generate a markdown of the working of the workflow, of the expected workflow for a user with the tariff pipeline. I.e. they define a classifier via the UI. They regex rules via the UI. Detailed pipeline. With samples of the records. Right, and then the ETL pipeline will parse. And like I think that's one of the things that kind of comes into like with when you're working on these things. It's just like being able to explain the ideal workflow, and like GB doesn't necessarily only define it for you, but like I've iterated off of this for like several months actually, and then the ETL pipeline will then parse. Then we'll go through the remaining. We'll, you know, to review via the front end, which will need to review via the front end. Edit and or approve. And so pretty much just going over to what my expected functionality is. I don't really want to talk too much about that. You can see it if you can. If not, I'm not going to really talk much into that. But I'm giving you a high level what I expect, and then also I want to kind of update my markdown files so I can just kind of like not have to have that be a thing that I keep having to do over and over again. All right. Let's see how that looks. What did I write? Can we just thinking. Yeah. And let's have tab. Yes. Perhaps user workflow or something like that. Like that. All right. So, and then I have the other AI generate markdown as well. Oh wow. Let's see what we got. That's how I call it user workflow. Let's see it. User workflow phase one, define the class. Our user creates a name classifier via the front end, then find a source system and text. This creates a policy. That row with a unique key, classifies a container. It holds no logic yet. Author classifier version. The user defines the parsing rules for that classifier by writing regex patterns against a live sample row tera package description. So you can see immediately pattern no text. The regex are rules, and the patterns are captured and created via the UI. Alright, so to assist the user in defining those regex rules that will go on the classifier version in the policy classifier version record. So then now it says pattern version should reach. So token kind of draft version with no effect on the pipeline. The user can rate all patterns before promoting. Draft and review active only one version per classifier should be active at a time promoting a new version. One detail. Once the classifier is active, the detail pipeline can be triggered manually or on schedule. The pipeline loads at the policy classifier gig, fetches all the package descriptions from the package to go using the active patterns, partial instruction rules, absolute records. Plan of records are validated downstream judgment. Okay, so like that. I like that. Is that in alignment with your understanding? I thought the GPT like it's like my bud. Is that within alignment with your understanding? Okay, so we do that. Let's refresh this capture. Property restart capture. Yes, exactly right. It's in just a form where usually many types registering. It should actually assist in driving. Okay. Says to change phase 2 slide, the author experience more like user selects a sample of tera descriptions. UI shows the parse line, lets the user annotate to confirm what each line represents. Rate time. Yeah, let me just. I don't think I need to go live on this. I need to like figure this out first. Well, who cares? The user selects a sample of tariff descriptions. UI shows the parse lines and lets the user annotate or confirm what each line can represent. Rate, time, range, condition, etc. UI proposes regex patterns based on those annotations. User valid user says creates with status equals draft. That's a meaningful distinction worth updating the doc. One minute draft. Yes. All right. So and it's updating my doc, right? And it's just like I don't have to. As I discuss functionality with it, it's managing my markdown for me. And I actually like that, right? Because it's just like, all right, so now as I'm working with stuff, it helps me. Oh no. But yes. Alright. Alright. Alright, so here, let's add that. Alright, so here are the phases. Oh wow, I love this. Let's go let user phase, user workflow. Where's the user workflow? Internet. Pattern families. User workflow. Oh. Wow, that's really cool. Alright. Phase 3. Phase 4. Alright. Alright, so here's the workflow. Let's put this into, I like this phase 1. Alright, here's the, I'm plugging this into V0. Alright, so based on your model. Alright, so here it is. Just okay. Alright, so here's the this is a well-defined workflow. Now I have a clear picture of what the transform model needs to do. Let me synthesize this into a design strategy. Transform model. Okay, let me come to what V0 is saying. Hotel properties. Restart capture. Alright, so this says workflow. For structure policies. Let me go back to this screen. Alright, so ooh, I like that. Oh. Ooh, so then, and then also in this, like what I'm seeing is that I can add AI assistants to help generate those rules. So it's almost like our code table is configurable. Promotion workflow draft active. Question before much starting scope. Should we build the full other UI phase first or start with a simpler version that steps with JSON config? All right. All right, I'm gonna stop for tonight. I'm gonna flush this down, then I'll kind of share my findings tomorrow, or like my better kind of design. Yeah, I'm burnt out. I think I'm burnt out, so we'll see how it goes. I'll do some more tomorrow.